Hello again, YouTube. This is the Truth Man giving you the truth. And I decided I'm going to do something. So, what I want to do is I want to break these matrix categories up individually before I do the actual documentary. Y'all got to excuse me, I'm coming from work. But that's kind of on the line of what I'm going to talk about today. We're going to make this a mini series with parts. So this is the No Matrix mini-series. Like, I'm getting ready to show you guys the mindset and the attitude, not just that you should have towards women, but that you should have towards people in general. Like, when you're dealing with this concept and this issue, we'll call it an issue of dating. You have to know how to view everybody else. So each thing that you learn how you should think to benefit yourself. It's like you're going to come slow. You're going to slowly etch your way out of the matrix if you're still in there. So we want to talk about this mindset in regards to women and the overall topic of dating. So again, this is the age of narcissism. Narcissism is definitely matrix. If you're a narcissist, you're not red pill. You're not out of the matrix. Now, it's one thing to try to have a good self-image and to make first impressions and all of that. But it's another thing if your reasoning for doing it is to impress people and to elevate yourself as if you're going to be a god over others. See, when you're dealing with the matrix, reason is very important. Like, your reason for everything you do and think is very important. Like, and you got to get these things down the right way. And you have to realize that other people might do things the wrong way. And like, one of the things we're gonna make these keys, and you'll hear me keep saying these things over and over and over again. When you out of the matrix, everybody is guilty until proven innocent. Guilty until proven innocent. You have to understand, one of the things you need to understand is when you're being gaslighted. Because a lot of people will gaslight you in their evil nature. And this is how we got to the point we are at right now. This is why you have politicians trying to ban guns, even though the criminals have them, and even though they're practically on the brink of war with some of the most dangerous countries ever of all times. But they're talking about banning assault rifles. Okay, you really should want your people to have assault rifles. But I'm just using this as an example. I'm not going to get off subject of what you're dealing with in terms of matrix thinkers and how you need to think as a no matrix thinker. So let's get back on track with the dating, the mindset you should have. When you leave the house every day, you should be looking in a way that makes you comfortable. You should never do things to impress others. You just shouldn't. Get your money right. Do what you got to do in terms of getting to that point where you can have the I don't care mindset. But everything about you should not be catering to others. Should not be making others like you. See, when you know matrix, you don't care who like you. You know people think you ugly. You know people ain't gonna like you. So what do you do in turn? You connect with the Most High, and you connect within yourself. And you love yourself. You shouldn't need love from nobody but God. You shouldn't need love from people. If they can love you, that's wonderful, but you shouldn't need it. So when you approach a woman that you find attractive, you should already have this mindset that I don't need her to love me. I just want somebody that X, Y, and Z. What's your X, Y, and Z? Is your X, Y, and Z? I just want somebody that I can have a little fun with. I just want somebody that I can team up with and make things easier. What's your X, Y, and Z? Because when you meet people, you have to see the positive and the possible negative. I know this stuff sounds complicated, but as we break it down, it's going to get much easier for you. So the negative, she might turn you down. Matrix-minded guys, she turn you down, she just lost her chance. She lost her chance. So you don't chase women. You don't chase women because when you know from what you're going to learn that when you chase women, it rarely ever works out. Because the minute you put her in her place, her mind is going to start to think, I didn't want him anyways. So she going to think the whole time she's with you, she going to believe that she's doing you a favor. That's why you stick to the women who like you or the women who you believe you getting positive choosing signals from. You stick to them. You stick to them. But don't spend all your time focusing on women and stuff like that. That's why this is the all subjects channel. Yes, I do talk about it because it's important. It's important. It's important that we in the manosphere, that we save guys from wasting too much time dealing with these women, wasting too much money trying to impress these women. Look, either they like you or they don't. Which brings my next point. Do not tell them how much you make. If you rich, do not flaunt your wealth in front of a stranger. That's matrix behavior. Get you a car. You got enough money, go get you a car. Go rent you like an average car. Go do an Airbnb. Like if you want to Netflix and chill, go do an Airbnb that's not spectacular. Or go to like a hotel or go to the lake or do not show your wealth. How's that going for these NBA players? How's it going? How much of their wealth do they have to lose before they stop trying to go after these Instagram models? This is where the whole this is where what Coach Greg Adams coined the bisexual. This is where people make this look like genius as far as he's concerned. Because you either gonna end up like Tyler Hero, PJ Washington, or Kanye West, or all the rest of them, or you gonna do what? You gonna, hey, this is what we gonna do. Here's the agreement right here, son. If you had the choice between those two, which one you gonna pick? But if you the type, you might want a little more out of female companionship. You might want to say, okay, well, I'm not gonna marry her, I'm not gonna have kids with her, but let's see what we can do. All of this is part of the mindset that you need to get right before you even approach a woman, or before you even text a woman or anything. Next, you never mix business with pleasure. So women at your job are off limits unless you have documented proof that they came to you outside of the job through text message or whatever. Then that way, if your job tries to fire you, if she lies on you, you can sue them. See, no matrix, you also have to learn how to protect yourself in every way. And that includes from relatives. I know we all over the place. You have to protect yourself in every way. You can't be thirsty. If you get too thirsty, you need to do the job yourself in the bathroom. I know, hey, I'm just telling you, this hard hitting, this the facts. Do not be out here with that strong thirst, because you're going to get yourself in trouble, or you're going to lose some money, or both. So in regards to women, once they turn you down, that's it. Never mix business with pleasure. Understand they're going to reject you. They're going to use shaming language. That's their way of staying relevant. And let's talk about the pander bears and stuff like that. Listen, do not compete with them. Do not share your thoughts. Once you see you got to learn simp language and pander bear language. Like, they say things like, yeah, but that's not fair though. Yeah, but what about a woman though? You got to watch out. And here's another way you spot a simp or a pander bear. If they in a relationship and they cheat, but their girl don't know, that's one way. Or if they married and they cheat and their wife don't know, that's automatic simp, pander bear, simp. When you see this, limit your discussions about anything related to women, whether it's politics. Don't be talking about, what's her name, man? I'm forgetting her name. Kamala Harris. Don't do it. Do not talk about Kamala Harris with pander bears. Do not talk about Kamala Harris with a simp. Remember, I showed you. If they're not using simp language, what about her though? That's not fair. If they also will show off. They'll constantly buy expensive things and either wear them to work, or wear them in the club, or they burn rubber with their cars. They're going to do something to try to get a woman's attention. That's what simps and pander bears do. A real dude is just going to, he want her attention, he's just going to go up to her and start talking. Or he going to find somebody that know her, hey, what's going on with her? But simps and pander bears, as far as playing your music loud, ain't nothing wrong with that. We ain't really talking, but sometimes they'll do that for women. But they say they always take women's side, and they never want to go against women. If you see this at work with your in-laws, your family, whoever, you know you're dealing with a simp, a pander bear, or one of those. When you're dealing with simps and pander bear, another thing simps and pander bears do, they always try to attack anyone who exposes women. They will attack them. They will feel it's their job to protect the alphabet community or anything else. This is why when you know Matrix, we're going to get into workplace. When you know Matrix, do not argue. Like when you out, if you out and about and the girl try to make a joke out of you, you try to get with her, she making up, do not argue with her. Do not say anything else to her. Just tell her to have a good night and get away from her. And next, move on in your mind. This how you move on. Move on in your mind. If you get turned down by a woman and you still in the place you got turned down, you have to try again in front of her. You have to. You have to. If you get turned down again, you try again in front of them, just to show them that you don't matter that much. Because see, we in the business of helping people. You got to help these women. You see, y'all damaging them with all this pandering. If you get turned down, if you in a club, or, well, I don't go to clubs, but if you somewhere, like let's even a barbecue, anywhere, and you see a bunch of women that are attractive to you, one of them turn you down, try again, one of them turn you down, try again, until you just say, hey, maybe tomorrow. If that's what you after, like whatever you after, closed mouth don't get fed. But like I said, you have to understand what they do. You have to understand their nature. You have to understand their behavior. They have been in competition with men since the beginning of time. This is one reason why sin came into the world between Adam and Eve, because Eve was in competition with Adam. She didn't like how he was running everything. So all of a sudden she over here talking, trying to change the rules of the game and stuff like that, which is what they do. This is what they do. Next, never be intimidated by a woman that you find attractive. You always understand that you the head and that you have rule over her whether she wants you to or not. God gave it to you. So when you dealing with them, you know this. And next, you realize what most of them are. They are thoughts. It don't matter how pretty they are. Most of them are thoughts. Now, and she should be happy. If you a good guy, you know whether or not you a good guy. If you a good guy, if you a guy that can protect her, if you a guy that can provide for her, if you a guy that can make her life better, you know already before you go up to her. That's the mindset. So if you not, then that's something you got to work on. You know what you are. Like I know what I am. These women are not going to find dudes at my level or higher in regards to relationships, how you deal with women. They just not. Oh, he this, he that, he blah, blah, blah. It don't matter. It don't even matter. So you have to know all this stuff. You got to watch this video 1,000 times. You have to know the things I'm telling in your mind. Never think, next, never think a dude looks better than you and never think he is better than you, ever. If he's a man and you a man, what do we have? We have two men. See, the narcissist, the pander bear, the grifter, the pimp. I know some pimps that, you know, from this area that they're not that bad. But I'm talking about in general. They gonna think that they better than you. You got to get your mind right. The Bible say casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God. What's the knowledge of God? Did he create one man better than another? No. So this is what we have to work on to get out of the matrix. No man is greater than another regardless of what he thinks. If he's a man, you a man, I'm a man, we three men that are equal in the sight of God. I'm telling you, we're going to break down this matrix thing bit by bit. So never think these dudes is better than you. I don't care if they got a better car than you. I don't care if their wing ding might be bigger than yours. I don't care if this, that, it does not matter. Get your mind right. Cast down imagination, every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God. The knowledge of God says that you're equal. You might not have the same level of this or level of that. You might not be the same height or this or that. But you're equal. And in your mind, that's how you have to think to escape matrix thought. Because the matrix will trap you. The goal of the matrix is for you to lose your soul. But first, you have to lose your... See, a lot of people done lost their mind and they don't know it. You in the matrix, you done lost your mind. You got to get that back. And I know it's dangerous for me to even talk about this stuff. But in regards to dating, this is why we're going to talk about jobs. But in every level, you have to have this mindset. What did God say? What did God approve of? Because matrix is there is no God. That's matrix thinking. We look all around, we see things we can't create. We know that there's a God. So that's the first, well, we're going to get into the spiritual. Let's stick to the dating aspect and your mindset that you need to have in regards to women and overall topic of dating. Everybody think they had a solution. But It's a mindset. It's a mindset that's going to lead you either this way or that way, this way or that way. And for some, this is better. For some, that's better. You can't say it's wrong for them to go overseas. You can't say that it's wrong for these guys to protect themselves, to continue to experiencing the luxuries of sex without all the other hassles that come along with it. You can't say they wrong. You can't say if a person wants a relationship, hey man, as long as that relationship is the way God intended it for it to be, ain't nothing wrong with it. But if it's not, you shouldn't have it. So that brings me to my next point, and we're gonna slow down. We're gonna stop with this first part because y'all attention spans ain't high. It's just not. Your attention span ain't good enough. It ain't strong enough for us to keep going. So I don't want these videos to be too long. You have to realize something. If the relationship is not what God, because God is the best. He's the strongest. He's the smartest. He's the wisest. So you have to stick with what he said. Not Christianity, not the other religions of the world. But you have to learn how to reach out. Just why you need to watch the Sunday sermon. How to reach out so he can give you his wisdom. Because his wisdom is going to turn you into a no matrix person. You're going to start to see the real with people, and it could be downright disturbing sometimes. It could be disturbing sometimes, and you're going to see the real with yourself. But you have to realize that the American dream and all the rest of this stuff is just that. It's an illusion. It's an illusion. It's not real unless you make it real. A dream is not going to be real unless you make it real. That's why I casting down all imagination, every high thing exalts itself against the knowledge of God. Women exalt themselves against the knowledge of God. Bring them down. I don't care how she look. We all got our different preferences. Some dudes like chocolate. Some dudes like them light. We all got our different preferences. But you got to bring them back down where they belong. You got to bring these guys down. Let them think that they this, they that. But don't you think it. Don't ever put no guy in front of you. And don't ever put these girls in front of you. Don't ever think they better than you or they beyond your ability to get them. Never. We'll come back to this. This is part 1 of No Matrix, the No Matrix miniseries. The mindset that you need to have in regards to dating. Thanks for watching.